Antichrist is the new horror film from the controversial Lars Von Trier. What can we expect?
To tell you in any detail what you can expect, I'd have to use a lot of words and phrases that I can't actually say on television, unfortunately. But it's a very shocking film, deliberately, willfully shocking, extremely violent, kind of weird. It's Charlotte Gainsbourg and Willem Dafoe as a couple whose son falls to his death. I think he's a psychiatrist and she's grieving very hard, and they go to the wilderness to heal her, I suppose.
What do you want?
To hurt you as much as I can.
But there are a number of very sort of controversial scenes. One of self-mutilation. There's quite a lot of quite graphic sex in it. But it's really split people. I mean, I know you were not a fan at all, were you?
I absolutely hated it because... I'm not going to hold back. I'm not going to hold back. I adore Lars Von Trier. But in this one, and he'll probably be delighted to hear this, but I think he's really gone too far. I think it's really boring. It's pretentious. You say it's beautifully shot, but I think he's almost deliberately made a film that will appeal to no one. It's almost like he's set out to do it. No, just it's like he's set out to do it, but it's far too artistic and far too kind of psycho-babble to please the kind of horror crowd and the gore hounds out there, and it's far too violent and like bloody, you know, blood hosing everywhere to appeal to the kind of people who do like art house cinema. It's almost as if he's just trying to stick two fingers up to everyone and kind of deliberately making it pretentious and tedious.
Say it's his most personal film?
Well, he says it is, but then he says a lot of things. I mean, this is a this is a guy. This is a guy who he became a Catholic, and then he turned around and said, well, I probably became a Catholic just to annoy all the other Danish filmmakers.
He's cantankerous, I'll give you that.
He's cantankerous, and he's full of little, like, practical jokes.
I met Jamie straight after he'd seen it in Cannes about 2.5 months ago, and he looked so angry that he wanted to go and like blow up buildings or something. But now you're even angrier. Sort of, right?
I am angry.
So
for John and I who haven't seen it, the fact that it made you so angry suddenly makes the film really appealing.
Yeah. And actually,
Rosie...
I knew how angry you were when I went to see it, and so I do think there's probably a part of me that was thinking it was going to be the worst, and I found it quite touching and quite...
But these films are kind of often the most interesting films. Films that massively split people are fascinating.
What I can't
At least you
tell...
feel something. I mean, that's
well, yeah, exactly,
what I can't tell is Jamie's inferring that Von Trier has deliberately made a bad film, and you're saying it's not a bad film. So did you not get that sense of mischief that Jamie's saying? Do you not sense that the
I think it is playful. I think, you know, the talking fox, the fox of pain, I think he was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And
the fox of pain.
The fox of pain, and then there's the three little animals at the end. It was a little bit playful.
If you stay for the credits at the end, there's actually a credit for sort of misogynist researcher or something, and that, again, is completely Von Trier. He knows people are going to see that, and that people are going to be up in arms, and he's done that deliberately to rankle people.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is, I'm kind of arguing against myself, because normally in his films, I love that. I love the fact that he gets under people's skin and he makes you feel something.
That's what fear is. Your thoughts distort reality. Not the other way around.
Fear is a thing that kind of spreads into all corners of your life.
First time I met him was in Cannes, and straight after the interview he actually just got up and in front of me stripped off completely naked and ran off in the sea for a swim. And you know, that's Von Trier, and he's wonderful, and like I said, I love his films, and I went to Cannes so excited. Von Trier making a horror film. I love horror films. I love Von Trier, and I just walked out just going, what the hell was that?
Okay, thank you. Cut.
So to wrap up this little horror segment, what director would you like to see making a horror film?
Michel Gondry.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to be boring and say the Coens, although arguably No Country's sort of horror-ish.
I'm going to say P.T. Anderson, just because he's my favourite director at the moment. I say him to everything. But also...
Did you even hear the question?
I didn't at all. PTA. No, but There Will Be Blood is kind of a horror film anyway, but I'm still saying PTA.
And just because I'd love to see what would result, I'm going to say Woody Allen.